Long before the towns, the railroads, and the great frontier trails, there were the wanderers, the first explorers of the American wilderness. Their names were whispered, not written. Their stories lived in the mouths of campfire flames, traded between tribes, settlers, trappers, and travelers who swore they had seen things no map had room for. The tale begins with a man known only as Elias the Wayfarer. No one knew where he was born, only that he carried a compass carved from bone and walked as if guided by something older than the country itself. Elias claimed he wasn't the first explorer, only the one who listened the best. He said the land spoke, and this is what he heard. Elias's journeys carried him across endless forests where the trees hummed with wind older than memory. He met tribes who told stories of giant birds that could blot out the sun, lakes that refused to freeze even in winter, and mountains that moved in the night. Every tribe had a legend, and every legend seemed to ask him the same question: do you truly know where you're going? One evening, after weeks of traveling alone, Elias reached a valley untouched by any village or settlement. The grass bent in perfect circles, as though something enormous had once slept there. He set up camp, but the ground felt restless, like it was waiting. As the moon rose, he noticed a faint path leading deeper into the valley, narrow, glowing softly like embers buried in the earth. He followed it. The trail led him to a cliffside painted with symbols, not made by any tribe he knew, not carved by hands shaped like his. Spirals, towering figures, and shapes that looked like stars falling from the sky. The cliff face seemed alive. When Elias touched it, a pulse moved beneath the stone, warm and slow, like a heartbeat. That was when he heard the whisper, not in his ears, in his bones. You are late. Others came before you. Many more will come after, but few will understand. Elias staggered back, but the voice continued. Those who explore seek the land. Those who listen, the land seeks them. When he blinked, the symbols on the cliff began to shift. The spirals stretched outward, forming maps, not of rivers or valleys, but of stories. Each line told of explorers even earlier than him, ancient wanderers who crossed ice, sailed on bark canoes, and followed the buffalo before settlers ever imagined the frontier. They were the true first explorers, unnamed, unseen, their footsteps dissolved by time. The voice spoke again. Remember them? Every path you take is borrowed from someone who walked it first. The light faded, and the cliff returned to stillness. Elias, shaken but humbled, spent the rest of the night staring at those silent stones. By dawn, the glowing trail was gone. As if it had never existed, he left the valley, but he carried its message with him. Years later, when settlers asked Elias why he explored alone, he would smile and say, "Because the land is never empty. You just have to know how to listen." They thought he meant wildlife, or weather, or danger. He meant something else. He meant the echoes of the earliest explorers, the ones whose names were never written, whose stories traveled not in books, but in the wind. The people who shaped the land long before borders, long before maps, long before the idea of a nation. And every time a traveler vanished into the deep forests, every time a mysterious trail appeared where none had been, every time someone heard a whisper in the stillness of night, they said it was Elias, guided by the ancient ones, still walking the old paths, still listening, still exploring, because on the frontier, some footsteps never fade. They become legends.